welcome to another wonderful evening of World of Warships. We're out in Clan Battle Season 3, and we pull 5D as our opponent here. I was part of 5D Gaming last season, um, so I'm sort of anxious to do well here. Now, we've already had two of our teammates have their games crash when they loaded this time, so they're a little late getting to position. I get the assignment to go out into what I know is got to be a DD trap. There's no Moskva this year, but I know these guys, and I know they've got a trap set. And there's the Yamato, so he's the one that'll be shooting at me. And sure enough, there's the Worcester. Now they expect me to go for the mouth, which is normally the rational thing to do, but I'm gonna turn and bolt out of here and get a few shots that fall behind me. There's Mike's. He was shooting where I would have been. So knowing that they knew that I knew that they knew what I knew, that so I did what they didn't expect, which was to turn out and rather successful in baiting. That radar cost me, let's see here, how much damage. So that's going to cost me probably about 1,500 points of damage. So I'll consider that a pretty good trade. Now, when I pulled that assignment, it's like, I don't want to go in here. I don't want to go in here. I know this is a bad idea, but I couldn't very well be insubordinate first night out with the new clan, and so I did almost what I was expected to do. But now I'm going to come back and will complete the assigned task and head in. Radar has been baited. Able to get some torps out to Mike's direction. Don't expect he's going to hang around too long and wait for those. Now, when you go into the what's called the Thunderdome here, is you want to avoid getting shot at by cruisers waiting outside that can shoot through these little gaps in the in the mountain. So you sort of have to hang close to the wall here, and so I'm looking at these gaps, trying to figure out which one they're most likely to shoot at me through. And what I didn't realize is that Pegleg had come into the circle with me. There he is. So I'll roll my guns around. He's been beaten up pretty badly by some of my teammates already. Get some good shots on him, on target, and down he goes. So pretty happy with that result, and I'm going to continue to hang out here very close to the wall, watch the gaps, and they still have me on radar, so I assume that's brought us, and we now have an aircraft spotting me, so they've got me pinched in here pretty tight, but I'm in a position where I'm going to be able to complete the cap, but they're not going to be happy to just let that situation, so I know they're going to be closing on me at some point here. Spotted by aircraft now, captured the zone, so now if they hit me, the worst they can do is kill me. I got the zone and got my first assignment done, and I'm gonna go over on guns here, take down an aircraft with a Yu Yang in a clan battle. You don't do that too often. Broadus has the radar back up, and I can see about where he's at. So he's RDF has him coming back around to meet me at the other entrance. So I have two cruisers to the west, one cruiser to the east. I can see that that he's waiting for me outside here. I'm gonna pop radar, and sure enough, there he is. And right on time, one right where he's at and one for when he turns inside. He'll try his absolute best to kill me here, and if I give him too many rounds, he will do it, but down he goes. So, survived by the skin of my teeth. I was At the opening of this game, I was worried that I was going to embarrass myself in front of the new clan. And here I am, take down the first two kills, and even got an aircraft. So um, things are looking reasonably well. It looks like they're controlling the west pretty well. Broadus is over here, unsupported for the to a large extent, and so I'm going to see if I can sneak up there and do a little bit of damage. Now he's not going to show a broadside to me, so I'm never going to get. I don't think I'll ever get a devastating strike on him. He's a pretty crafty character. Um, I'm going to go up here, get my torps loaded, keep him spotted, let the guys behind me be able to burn him a bit. I could have continued around north, but I haven't seen those cruisers in a while, and don't want to get pinched in that way. So I'm going to dump a couple loads here and turn. Now at this point, it looks like Neighbor Kid is pushing in to retake A so that they can gain the cap advantage. I'm out of torps at this point. Probably should not be hanging around. This is going to become an unhealthy area pretty quick for a DD. So he would pinch me if I hung out in this area. I'm going to see if I can keep him spotted for a little bit here. But for the most part, I'm going to be running away from him. One torp into Mike. And I've got to run now. So the question is where? Haven't seen the Zhao out to the east for quite a while. Not sure where he's at. Um, and so I'll loop back around. And maybe I can ambush Mike at point blank range. With as little health as I have left, probably not a survivable move. Um, but it would certainly open up a cap, and then an unsupported, a Zot without any support, is he's got the one shot ambush, but then his position becomes known and usually doesn't survive well in a slugfest. So I'm gonna come up here and now I got to make a decision. Which way is Mike gonna go? Should I go left? Should I go right? Um, and right about now, I think up pops an aircraft. Yeah, there's the aircraft. So I'm not going left. So I'm gonna quickly turn in right here, and I'll get spotted here in a moment. But I'm gonna duck behind the island so that shots from across the board are less likely. Now Mike knows where I'm at, and he knows he knows where I'm going. Um, I'm going to blind him here by taking down his fighter rather in just a moment. So that's two fighters for Yu Yang in a clan battle. That's got to be a record. So I'm talking to my teammates. Where's his gun pointed? His gun's pointed at me, and sure enough, they are. So I come to a stop here. I'm going to wait him out. This will be an interesting waiting game. If he goes bow on to me, that means he's going to be broadside to our battleship that's sneaking up behind me. If he keeps his guns trained toward me, then people have free shots at him. So I'm gonna dither back and forth and back and forth. His guns are still pointed at me. Um, Guns are still pointed at me. I'm gonna back up some more. Let our battleship get a little closer to in position. Um, I should have paid attention to Fish's shots from the Zao there, but I didn't. I was tunnel vision on Mike, so get the first salvo off, and I want to get a little bit better angle before I launch my second salvo here. And fish takes me down. Um, but got one salvo of torps off, and at this range, Mike's going to do his level best to only take one. He does take one with flooding, so he's got ECP. And at this point, I look up at the board and go, "Oh no, 5 ships to 3 ships, and they have 2 zones. We are toast. I have failed the team." Um, and that sort of pessimism sits in, and it's like, well, no, let's count on your teammates. So Bean's coming around as fast as he can, and so I'm gonna zoom out here in a moment and see see what I can see there. Now Bean's got the Zhao shooting at, taking blind shots at him. He's probably spotted, so they know where he's at, and he knows that they're going to be waiting for him. So there's Mike. Mike is broadside to him. He does a fair amount of damage through the nose of the Montana. Um, but on the other hand, Mike is now broadside to a Montana. And there we go. One shot and down he goes. And now Bean's got to figure out what to do. There's the Zhao torps to worry about. There's the blind firing to worry about, and he's just taken a pretty good bop from Mike before Mike went down. Um, I guess there was a cruiser duel going on over in A, and Russell took out Neighbor Kid, but he's sort of exposed in there now. But I'm gonna focus on what Bean's doing here, and so he's going to use Mike's carcass as a torpedo shield and go in and nose in on him. And he's firing on the Zhao. Now the Zhao got out from behind the shadow of that island, and so he's not blind firing anymore. I guess he couldn't blind fire because Russell took out the cruiser that was spotting Bean. So it's now fish face to face with a battleship, and this is probably not going to end well. Let's see what Bean does here on the next salvo. So, cruiser fire coming in on fish. He's trying to use the island to shield himself as best as possible from that. But that means he's stationary, and Bean does a real number on him. So suddenly we go from 3 against 5 to 3 against 2, and lo and behold, we are in the process of capturing all 3 zones. So this was a good turnaround by my teammates. Um, Russell was taking a fair amount of fire. He's going to go down here. Sung Hol does his best to avoid that gearing torp that snuck through the islands, and Sung Hol's trying to shoot down Kager across the way. At which point we're all yelling at him, "Go Gundark, quit, run away!" Because we have 2 caps, we've got the points, and if everyone stays alive, this will go. This will go down in the record books as a win. So Sung Ho wants to win this all on the strength of his guns, and we're like, no, turn and run, run as fast as you can. There, there is no extra points for winning by eliminating all the enemy, and so we're ticking up here on 1,000 real quick, and there we go. So tally for the game: 2 aircraft, 2 ships, 5 torps, and captured a zone. So we got Broadus with that torp blast. Lucky to get peg leg at all, and did a fair amount of damage to Mike before I went down.